Sports Court is in session. Welcome to another edition of Sports Court. On the docket tonight, should the NBA get rid of the draft lottery? The Pistons hoped to land the #1 pick in back-to-back years. That did not happen. They fell to 5th in the draft lottery. Every single year, the Pistons have been lottery eligible. They have failed to move up, except for once, and that was last year when they got the #1 pick. I know people don't like the fact that the Pistons didn't move up, but the system works. It avoids tanking. It keeps teams honest. For the most part, I think the lottery is just fine the way it is.
I am not the kind of guy that wears a tinfoil hat, but I do believe in a good conspiracy, and the NBA draft lottery has presented us just that. I mean, over the years, we've seen certain situations where, like, the Knicks getting Patrick Ewing, the Bulls getting the #1 pick the year after Jordan retired, the Cavs getting the #1 pick the first time after LeBron left. The draft lottery leaves open to interpretation, and I don't think the NBA wants that.
I know the NBA doesn't want it open to interpretation, but you got to play the odds, right? The lottery is all about the numbers, and if you don't want to find yourself in this position of, well, you know, they favor this team over us, then it's simple, right? Just win more games, don't tank, and you won't end up in the lottery, right?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, still, the lottery doesn't necessarily help the really, really bad teams. We've seen over the years the Pistons have year after year after year bad record. They can't crack that #1 pick, which keeps them at the cellar. Now, granted, they got it last year, and granted, the lottery did get it right this year with 3 of the 4 teams getting in that top 3. But, I mean, come on, how many times over the years have we seen teams really just not get what they deserve?
I think that's a great point. I will say the NBA can only put you in a place to succeed. It's on the front office to do the right thing. You know, Mike, in the history of the NBA draft lottery, only 4 times has a team had the #1 pick back-to-back years. The Rockets did it. They took the Twin Towers. They had Hakeem Olajuwon, and they had the legend Ralph Sampson. The Orlando Magic had it. They took Chris Webber. They took Penny Hardaway. Of course, they traded Penny Webber for Hardaway. They took Shaquille O'Neal. I think the lottery works, but it's up to the team to do the right thing. And I hear what some of you were saying. What about other sports? How come they don't have lotteries? Look at the NFL. The Lions had 4 first-round picks. In 4 years, they drafted 3 future Hall of Famers in Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, and Ndamukong Suh. And guess what? They still stunk. It's not enough just to get that great player at the top of the draft. You got to have a competent front office to build a team. That's why I don't see a problem with the lottery. They'll give you the pick. What you do with it is up to you.
See, I'm of the belief that the worst team should have the first pick. They do it in football. They do it in baseball. Why can't they do it for the NBA? You're worried about tanking. My concern is getting balance to the league, sort of like a Jedi, getting balance to the league, and I don't think the draft lottery does that.
What's your verdict? Head to Facebook or text COURT to 616-559-1310 and comment.
Then next week, we'll highlight the most interesting.
Last week, we argued the best sports video game of all time, and all of you weighed in.
There was a mention here or there for our choices, but the clear winner and the most mentions was NFL Blitz.
That's an interesting game. That was followed up with Tecmo Bowl and the NHL series. Now, I like NHL 94 for Sega Genesis myself.
That wraparound move never failed. We love hearing from you, so keep them coming. Until next week, Sports Court is adjourned.